Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Griffin. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud. All right, let's get straight to it. I'm excited for tonight's episode. I really am. I feel whole again, to be honest. I made it up to Buffalo, as Nickel City Crew well knows, and you guys have shown some love on Instagram and different things like that. So I really appreciate the love. The crew is growing, to be honest, and that's a real fun, exciting thing. I met a lot of people out there at the tailgate that told me that they were listeners, and Dump Truck had brought them on, and he's been spreading the word. My boy Drew Fair has been spreading the word, and kind of Nickel City Crew is kind of just slowly bubbling. So listen, I stay in my lane. I enjoy this. I don't do it for attention or anything like that. I do it because I love the Buffalo Bills, and I know you guys do too, and Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew. So without further ado, my co-host, as always, joining me, my man, Adam Dump Truck Rupsick. What's up, DT? Holla at the crew.
What's up, Rob? What's up, Nickel City? We back in it. It was a pleasure Sunday. That was a blast from top to bottom. What a perfect day. We couldn't have got better when it came to weather, and we had the energy, man. We had the energy. We were ready to be back, and it's great to have people that support us that just are just like us, just like the fans of Buffalo, and showing their Bills thoughts said out loud, as you say it best. So we out here. The energy was live, Rob. It was a great time.
Oh my
great
God,
win.
Nickel City Crew. We had
Couldn't have drew it up.
ball. We had a
Couldn't have
ball.
drew it up better.
No, man. I mean, the only thing for me was just been to get there a little bit earlier. I went with my boy Ace, and he's got a brand new daughter, and you know what I mean. We were trying to make sure that everything worked out with that. So I got stuck on Southwestern. It seemed like DT for like a half hour. It was crazy, the traffic.
Yeah, you were saying you were on California, and then I didn't hear from you for a half hour.
Man, it was crazy. So as I was approaching California, it literally, like, it was just two lanes, and it was just, I mean, it was gridlock, and I could get the energy. Now, my energy always amps once I get to California, and I can actually come down the hill and I could see the stadium. Then it starts to get,
see the lights.
Oh my gosh. Then I could see the smoke. I could see the charcoal and different things like that. So like I literally, I was starting to get energetic, and I literally had a great time. We parked, we met up with you guys, and we had a ball, man. Listen, come out anytime. I'm talking about the next home game for the Sunday night game. That's going to be bananas. With Aaron Rodgers coming to town after the bye week. Come out, man. We are on the grass lots. We're in the grass lots right there on California Southwestern, the actual grass lots right in front of the stadium. So not on the corner of California and Southwestern, but just a few clicks up. I mean, it's right there on the left-hand side. The stadium's right there. Oh my gosh, we have such a ball out there. So come out. We have a great time, and I would love to see the Nickel City Crew members and Bills Mafia come out and support us and just kind of have a good time and share some beers, man. Speaking of beers, DT, you have been getting a lot of love on my Instagram for that, for the shot thing. What is that? It was like, it looked like a day. My boy was like, "What is that? A turkey based syringe?"
You could say it's basically based on me, Rob. That thing is something else. I gotta tell you, shout out to the season ticket holder behind me, CJ, and his smoke shop down in West Seneca. They had those for sale. I went in there one time, and they had those for sale, and it's called the beer stick. Some people may know it as the paint stick as well, but I call it the beer missile, Rob. I call it the beer missile, and that thing you fill that.
You get a lot of love, man. You get a lot of love. Everybody likes that video. Everybody likes that video.
That thing's funny. Yeah. It's if anything, it gets the crowd going, and it's something.
It kind of speeds up the process too, though. I bet.
Like, it goes. You got no choice. You got no choice. It's going down, baby. It's going down quick and fast, and it's funny, man. It's
man,
time. I gotta live up to the DT a little bit in my older age now.
Come on now. You definitely got to live up to that energy for sure. You know, and as we had a great time in the tailgate, and then we started approaching noon, and people started packing up. And listen, when we got into the stadium, boy, were we not in for a treat. 3 plays in, as we put a bow on this Pittsburgh Steelers game, DT. 3 plays in. I mean,
No.
3 plays in. If you weren't in your seat, if you were in the bathroom, you would have missed it. 3 plays in, 3rd and 10 from the 2-yard line. Josh unleashes one, and I have to give credit. He got hit right in the chops. They've got a still shot floating around there somewhere on Instagram with like it's face mask to face mask. He got hit right away, and man, I mean, how does he unload that ball into the wind and it travels? What did it go at least 60 yards? I mean, it seems like it went almost 60 yards because by the time that Davis caught it, I think he was at the 50 or maybe the other team's 40, the Steelers 40. I mean, that thing was floating and moving. And I mean, Josh Allen, man, what other superlatives do we have to have for this guy? Like literally, I don't want to ever take him for granted because the fact that some of the stuff he does is so damn amazing, man. Like that was crazy. 3 plays in.
Freaky. He's freaky. He's freaky. He put it on a rope. And man, I'll tell you what though, I got to bet this weekend. I got to bet the Bills got to win the coin toss. They lose and get the ball every game, and other than the Ravens game, ram it down, beautiful drive, tutty, perfect.
Yeah.
In the Miami game, it was 7 for 7. He was perfect in that first drive, and
Mm-hmm.
and all these tutties on the first drive, and they after the fumble on the kickoff, and it's just you got that quick little scare like this ain't going to be one of those
Right,
BS
right,
games, one of
right,
these Steelers BS games,
right. I talked about that in last
and then
episode.
and
Mhm.
yep, and then third down on the rope, and I mean, as we talked, the snowball gets rolling down the hill. You ain't
Man,
stopping it, and that's
man,
what it was early and often. And whew,
man.
what a day! What a day at
It
the Ralph, baby. Let's go.
what a day at the Ralph. You got me amped up because it was so much fun to be there and watch the offense kind of get to work and then the defense clicking as well. Our defense is a problem, DT. And I'm literally gonna sit there right in that space and I'm real comfortable with it. Our defense is a problem. Now I understand you're facing Kenny Pickett, who didn't actually look that bad or anything like that. You know, they kind of ran their offense the way that they could. He was on the edges a little bit and trying to do his thing. The defense is just dominant, DT. The defense is dominant. And with a defense like that, married with the number 1 or number 2 offense in the league like that, that literally could be a scary recipe where we are planning a parade. Now, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I know what week it is, but like that D out there, DT, it was all over the place. A lot of guys out. I mean, Edmonds was out, looked like he was getting ready for this week. Poyer was out, same thing. Nobody skipped a beat, man. The safeties played well, Hamlin and Johnson. Tyrell Dodson comes in, 11 tackles, leads the team. Talk to me real quick about the D because I know we gloat on the offense all the time. That D is tough, man.
Aggressive, complex, and schemed out. I mean, they were. Give credit to Kenny Pickett for making some decent throws. You know, as they made some drives together. They put some drives together. They just weren't able to, get into scoring position. They had to go for it on 4th down when those would have been field goals because they were down by so much. But this defense didn't let them do anything. It's almost not that they let them get down the field in those situations. They'd obviously want to stop them for field position, but this defense was able to just be in control, be light the whole game. A nice, solid scheme to nothing too crazy. They got some yards, but no scores. And 7 points in the second half all year, Rob. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
that
man.
doesn't make
Come
any
on,
sense.
Nickel City crew. Like, it don't matter who's playing defense. Like, this is crazy. 7 points in the second half. Like, this is like 85 Bear defense, type of stat. Like, it's nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I think we're the number 2 scoring defense right behind the 49ers. We've got, the most turnovers. We've got, a bunch of sacks. We've got the most picks. We're all over the place in respects to the flying on that side of the ball. Leslie Frazier is slowly but surely reestablishing his reputation and his resume as an elite defensive mind, which means that he's already a leader of men. We saw him in Minnesota. The players loved him. He did not end on a sour note in respects to the players. It was just the fact that they didn't do enough winning during his tenure. I think that he's in line for this next coaching go-around little carousel because, listen, he's a leader of men. They respect him, and his defenses have just been looking downright nasty since he's been here. And I have to give him credit. It's not just
so
McDermott.
Consistent. Consistent in every aspect. And this D-line, we get back to the trenches. This D-line is dominating, and they're shadowing some holes in the back, letting these young guys get comfortable. And now this defensive backfield's only going to be getting better and healthier with this defensive line dominating. Like, it's oof. Let's
Oh
go.
man, I tell you, listen, the defense looks great. The offense again was on point. Josh Allen had they what was it, 400 yards or something like that,
Yeah.
three something,
Could have.
348 in
I
the first
mean,
half. Like,
Rob. We're talking about easily could have had the passing record. Everyone knows that. Like,
oh my
doesn't
gosh.
even have to be said. Easily could have the passing record in that game.
hmm
Could
hmm
have, and probably could
They
have got
sat
it
out the whole fourth
in the
quarter.
third.
It seemed
And
like,
they kind of slowed it down in the third. I mean,
yeah.
he could have really ramped it up. He could have easily had it, but obviously not about the stats, about the win. But yeah,
He,
insane. Like we're putting him up. Let him know. Let him know.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, listen, the reason as we transition, because that game really, there's nothing really else to say about it. It was just a dominant performance by the Bills from start to finish, literally 3 plays in, and all the way through, like you said, to the third quarter. When they started letting off the gas a little bit, the backups came in after that James Cook touchdown in the fourth quarter, and a lot of the Bills Mafia kind of just got out of there, and some of them wanted to beat traffic, and that's fine because the job was done. The Bills came to work. And they put in an honest day's work and whooped that ass. So I was more than satisfied leaving the stadium. As we transition into the week of all weeks, listen, there's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to kind of, I don't know, downplay it, whatever you want to say, DT. Like this is kind of it. This is where the rubber meets the road in my mind. Biggest game of the year by far for the Bills. Now, obviously, we don't know the future, so with other teams and records and different things like that, maybe there's a matchup down the road with Cincinnati or something like that had a little bit more implications, or one of the divisional games. Maybe it's against the Dolphins that means something, or possibly the Patriots. This is it. Everybody's looked at this calendar and said week 6 before the bye was really the litmus test for the Bills. We're going to get it. KC squeaks out a narrow win over the Raiders on Monday Night Football. Didn't look particularly all that great. They were down 17-0, but so were we in the first half against the Ravens. So what do you think as we open up our initial thoughts on this week? The reason I almost played payback, James Brown payback to start this show, DT, I just don't look at it that way because of the fact that we've got to go take it from them in the playoffs. That's really when I look for it as a payback. Now, if we play them again in the playoffs, I promise you, Nickel City Crew, we will open that show with James Brown payback, because at that point, we can actually go get what they took from us. Right now, this is a big matchup. AFC. I mean, this could be for the 1 seed. Like, I know it's early, Bills Mafia. I know it's early, Nickel City Crew. It's only, Crip, it's only week 6. This could be a big deal down the road when we're coming week 15, 16, 17, 18. They could look back at this game like, damn, wish the Bills would have got that one, or damn, wow, good thing we got that one, because we're right in the driver's seat.
Massive in every aspect. We're looking at that could be, to get back in the playoffs, that could be dependent on this game. I'm not a believer of it has to be a home game in the playoffs to get to the bowl, but you would obviously rather be there. You and me would rather be there at the
Yeah,
tailgate before the
yeah,
AFC Championship
damn
against the
right.
Chiefs.
You damn
100%.
right.
But yeah, I don't think it needs to happen. But this is huge for that, for every implication, to show if you want to be the new Bills, if you want to be take this bowl, you got to take it from them now to show
Right.
them if we do meet again in the playoffs,
It's gonna be at our crib.
and it's going to be a force to be reckoned with again. Like, we're going to get in here and beat your ass. Like, that's what they want to do. Just like the last year when they had them, on the ropes, dominated that game in KC last year. They got to do the same. Going into the bye, huge to get a win into the bye with this team getting healthier. It's massive in every aspect. And we're building this rivalry. You say it every week. 18 events, 18 weeks we get to watch,
Right.
and this is the best of the year so far. Might be the best of the year. We're live right here. This is the event, and this is the biggest one.
Man.
All eyes, us, KC, and the rest of the world are on this game. There's only one other 4:00 game. People are like, "Oh, this should be the night game." This is as prime time as it gets. Every eye is going to be on this game.
Oh man,
It's huge, Rob.
you ain't lying, because of the fact that there's so many implications. There's so many ways you can slice this thing in respects to the number 1 seed, AFC. It's important, and I don't want to downplay the importance of it because of the fact that I know that this guy's the Boogey Man for me. So I'm going to embrace this week. I'm going to embrace it. I'm not picking the Bills in this game or anything like that. I'm not saying that we're going to win the game or lose the game, whatever the case may be. I just want to be a fan. Patrick Mahomes makes me nervous. Now, the offense has changed for KC. So as we dissect them just a little bit and look at this matchup, the offense has changed. Tyreek Hill is out. It took away some of their speed and their vertical threat with him. but they've been efficient and they've been able to move the ball. Now it's been longer drives. We saw, Kelsey with that ridiculous stat line, like 7 catches or something like that, 4 touchdowns for only 25 yards. Like we've never seen anything like that before in the history of the league. Listen, they move the ball down the field. They are not as big play, splash play like they were with Tyreek Hill last year, but Mahomes looks just as good as, you know what I mean? He's spreading the ball around. Like he's moving it around. Like I can't really poke holes in his offense because of the fact that Tyreek Hill's gone. They look good, period.
Dishing it around, doing to what he has. Decent receivers, not as good obviously without Tyreek Hill, but everything we love about Josh Allen,
Mhm.
for the most part, the Chiefs fans can say about Patrick Mahomes and why
That's
they
right.
love him. So that's what the battle is, and making things happen with it doesn't matter who Josh is throwing to. When he's
Mhm.
throwing 400 yards in Miami and 12 different people catch the ball,
Mhm.
almost had 300-yard receivers this last week, against Pittsburgh. Like he doesn't care who he gets the ball to, and that's the same with Mahomes. There, if it's not going to Kelsey, which I'm sure Leslie Frazier and the Bills are going to key on,
Mhm.
it can go to any of these guys. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they got another the Pacheco the scat back out of the
Mhm.
out of the
Mhm.
backfield. Like it's going anywhere, which makes them a lot harder to defend. But
Yeah.
it's going to be tough
They've been
to top
efficient.
15.
Yeah.
This is the biggest pressure I think is not on the offense and Josh Allen. Is they proved they can score on this team twice last year in dominant fashion, and this defense hasn't, going back to the AFC Championship 2 years
Haven't
ago.
stopped them.
I
Haven't
mean,
stopped
it
them.
was. I remember in that game looking like they had an incomplete pass, and I just like took like a deep breath, and I was like, "Wow, that's the first negative play the Chiefs have had in 3 hours." Like I've
Yeah,
been
it's
watching this
ridiculous.
game, and they've got 5 yards every play, and
Yeah.
so dip, dunk, dive, that's what they're going to be working on us right down that field, and the defense hasn't been able to prove they can stop a lot of their number one D in these years, and they're not stopping
Mhm.
KC, and it's a
Something's
tough
gotta
stop.
give.
It's a tough ask, but you got it. This is a pressure on you now. Like you're the elite team. You're the Super Bowl team. This defense is dogs. Let's go. You got to get this and prove you can make some stops on Mahomes. And no 17 can do the rest for you.
Yeah, and one of the big additions to kind of help to that point and to help to that goal is obviously Von Miller. Von Miller shows up with a sack again last week. I listened to his mic'd up. I love everything about Von Miller. Period. Like I love him as a player. I love him as a leader. What he does for his other defensive linemen in the room, how he's always talking to them. I love now that the Bills. It seems like the players in the locker room have adapted his little moniker of "Don't Blink." I love that. Like can't wait for that T-shirt to come out. Like "Don't Blink." I like that. Von Miller, it's time. It's kind of time for him, not for just specifically him, but for that defensive line. Like Brandon Bead revamped the whole line. We've already talked about it through the offseason. This is it. This is kind of your one shining. Like the Bills have been obsessed with the Chiefs, and we've been obsessed with kind of finding a way to get past them and finding a way to get where they are and where they have been. Obviously, as a Super Bowl champs at one point, like this is kind of like all eyes on you. Defense, like all eyes on you, D line. We've got to kind of find a way to get home, or at least push this guy off his spot, because this is kind of literally what Brandon Bean reset this whole defensive line for.
Yeah, and we didn't pay him that much money for 6 years to have great sack last week, but we didn't pay him to have a sack against the Steelers in a 38-3 win. Like this is
Right.
what it's for. This
Yeah.
is why you're here, and this has got to be the difference maker. Any team that's ever stopped Mahomes in history hasn't done it through their secondary. They've done it, up front and
Up
getting
front.
to him and making them
Hmm.
uncomfortable. The most common example in the Super Bowl.
Right.
You got to get to them, and that's what they did to revamp this line every aspect. I looked at the injury report today. We're getting healthier.
Hmm.
The Ed Oliver's back, and
Right.
he's going to be hungry. He was there in the loss. Like all these guys have been here too on this defensive line, and then the new guys coming in know what's at stake. That they are the difference maker on this defense right now.
Yeah, they really are, because it's kind of time for them to kind of step up and show up in respects, and they have all year. It's not like they haven't been doing it, but it's really going to be a big time and a big opportunity for them to kind of show their teeth, so to speak, and show kind of what Brandon Bean has built with this team. It's an interesting matchup. Kansas City offensive line has not been playing that well. We saw them again against the Raiders. We know Raiders have got some great pass rushers, just like we do. They've been complaining about their offensive tackle. I guess Orlando Brown Jr. has not been playing up to the billing of that franchise tag. It's going to be an interesting week, and I definitely think that it's going to come down to D, because you're absolutely right, DT. We haven't stopped them. It's been more shootouts, and I think that this will be a nice time for the Bills to kind of flex and to show, hey, listen, we're not the same Bills in respects to the defensive side of the ball. You're not going to just take and get anything you want. Kelsey is not just going to be roaming up and down the field however he wants, finding mismatches and finding holes in the defense. We don't have many holes on our defense. So I really am excited for the matchup because of the fact that that's going to be where I'm focused on. I already have a lot of faith in 17. I think that he'll be able to take care of the offensive side of the ball. I don't fear the Chiefs on defense. I know Chris Jones is a monster, horrible roughing the passer call on him the other night on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that was something.
That shit was crazy. I had never seen a strip sack be called for a roughing the passer in my life. So the NFL's got to get a way to address that because they changed the concussion protocol down, right in the middle of the season, midstream. So I would love for them to let the quarterbacks get, moved around a little bit. The defender, I don't know what they want them to do, but I'm not really worried about KC's D. I'm really not. I've got that much faith in 17, whether they want to play a too high shell and force us to take what's underneath and take what they're giving us, or if they want to try to bring some guys down to the box, we'll take our shots there too. So I'm confident with that matchup, DT. I'm really, all eyes for me will be on the defense to see if we can find a way to stop Mahomes. I told you, Nickel City Crew, he's the boogeyman to me. Until we get it back from him in the playoffs, I choose to be scared, and I'll just sit in that space until I see something different on the field.
Yeah, and with the going in with the beat up defense we've had through this year with the Dolphins, with Tyreek and Waddle, we were like, oh, even if we have a few breakdowns, Bills are scoring 34, Bills are scoring 30, and we'll win 31-20, 30-24.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, the breakdowns, and then we go to Kansas City, that might be elongated. We might have to score 40 because they might score 30, if we have breakdowns defensively with this young defense. But they've shown they can handle it in the secondary. So if we can get to the point where I thought we were going to be for the Dolphins game of, let them have 20, let them have 24. If now we can get to that point with this dominant defense to give the Chiefs 20, 24, I love 17 scoring 30 in this game, all lies, all life. So give them 20, 24 with this talent and take the dub at 30. That's how I'm kind of looking at the battle with this defense of a couple of weeks ago. It's like, oh, even if we break down against the Dolphins and let them have 20, no big deal. Now this defense showed they're way better than that. So they can go and break down for a couple times and still only give up 20, 24 to the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. They have proved it to me. On that side of the ball, Leslie Frazier's got them clicking at such a level where I think it's kind of been a little bit underrated. This is not like last year where we have been playing. I remember I asked you, during the summer, like where we kind of getting a little bit fat off some of the competition with all the, the garbage quarterbacks we play. You can't say that this year about the Bills defense. This is their murderer's row. This is their gauntlet. We've got, Stafford, the defending champ. We had, other quarterbacks, Tua, who has been praised and all that other stuff. And that crazy game that he had the week before he played us. Like, we have gone up against some quarterbacks. I am just that confident in the defense. I know that Mahomes is the boogeyman. I know I'm scared of him, but I am confident that we can at least limit him. He's not going to just get carte blanche out there and just take everything that he wants. Leslie Frazier has shown that this defense is playing much better than that. I do expect a higher scoring game, but I don't think it's going to be a shootout necessarily. I think I could see it in the 30s. I could see it in the high 20s, but I don't think we're in for a barn burner 40, 45, 42. I don't see our defense getting lit up like that. I just don't. I have not seen anything over these first 5 weeks to lend me to believe that this defense is getting ready to get broke down. And that comes with as scared as I am of 15. I'm scared of Mahomes, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't know how you carve up this defense where you've got Tyrell Dotson in a backup role playing well. You've got the corners playing well. You've got them learning on the job. That's so important for these young guys to learn on the job. We're going to get to trade day in a minute, but like this is a good D, man. This is a great D, and you're right. It could be historical. It could be.
Yeah. And even worst case scenario, Rob, we come out and the Chiefs have an awesome game plan. They start carving us up first half. Great, getting points. And Chiefs are here. 7 points in the second half, Rob. They make adjustments. Leslie Frazier is showing time and time again. McDermott, time and time again, they can make that adjustment. Worst case scenario, they get carved up early. I still have faith they come back and make adjustments to handle them in the second half and let it finish out. So I'm with you. I'm comfortable. They're not getting cooked. They never have.
Not yet. And I agree. I wouldn't want to be down 17. That's going to make me, nervous. Yeah. I don't want to give them the lead. I don't want to spot them points. And if KC wants to spot us points like they did the Raiders, I think we'll clean them up. That would be a recipe for a disaster for them. So it'll be a great game. This the biggest game of the year. It's something that everybody's going to be watching. I want to kind of dive into what it would mean going forward. So as we look at it, win or loss. So if we want to stay pessimistic for a second, a loss doesn't cripple our chances at the 1 seed. Now you will be a full game behind KC. You're going to need them to slip up, somewhere down the road and lose 2 games to get that and regain that game back on them. I could definitely see that for them. They do not look like the same team in respects to, the Chiefs that we've been scared of over the years. However, it's still a little bit of an uphill battle, but I don't think that the 1 seed is out of the question if we lose this game, DT.
No, not at all. But these Chiefs are looking solid so far, and they're going against
Yeah,
this AFC West that we
that we
thought was going to
thought.
be a lot better than really what it is. I mean, good teams, good talent. I don't think anybody's dead yet, but you look across and it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. So if the
No,
Chiefs do start going skate mode, we got skate mode coming too, but
right.
this is huge for that, because it's not like we can't expect those losses as much as we kind of thought in the beginning of the year. The West is going to eat itself up. It looks a little
Right.
more clear cut that the Chiefs are going to take it. That makes this game even bigger, I think.
Yeah, it does, because it looks like the Bills and the Chiefs are the class of the AFC once again. I don't really know who the third place team would be, but I think that we are in a tier above the rest of the conference. And, a loss would put you kind of behind the 8 ball. You will need 2 losses from the Chiefs to catch up because finishing with the same record won't get it done with the tiebreaker head to head. If with a win, I think whoever wins this game, if the Bills win, we are literally sitting in the proverbial driver's seat, DT. I don't see a way with a W that we're not right there. Like it's all right in front of you. Like the Ralph, week 1, the first round of the playoffs, you get your bye, you get your guy. That's such an important thing now that they took away that number 2 seed with the 7th playoff team now. Only one team gets that bye. That is such a crucial thing. And we know now that the Bills are finally on the other side of that coin with the health. We're not just staying perfectly healthy like we've been lucky the last couple of years. We're probably going to need it come down the stretch. I would love to be the 1 seed. That would make me feel so much better about our chances to represent the AFC in Super Bowl 57.
The storybook season, if this is a beautiful chapter to put in it, Rob. I mean, we're talking get the win. You get the win, go to 5-1, go into the bye week. Like everyone's coming back healthy. Trey White comes back. Sean
Yes.
McDermott's great after the bye. The passing of the torch. Rodgers is done. Packers suck. Blow out the Packers and just start the train going.
Yeah.
This would be a great chapter. But you could also reverse it as a chapter of adversity, and you drop and you take some injuries and come out at the end of the
Lick
season
your
too.
wounds
But
and going into bye
the
week.
first one. I like
Oh
the
man,
first one.
I know Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew. We all would like that first scenario of a win. The Chiefs are a funny team because of the fact that they've kind of been, they kind of have been our stuck in our crawl. They have stopped us from getting from where we want to go. So I know it's personal for Bills fans. I know that it's personal. I just want everybody to remember that it's not a situation where we can get back last year. We are in 2022. We can't go back to the scene of the crime. I know we're going back literally to the scene of the crime, but we can't get it back. We can't get those 13 seconds back. So I just want to caution everybody where it will feel great if we get this W, but it is not the end goal. The end goal is to be hosting the AFC Championship game. I know that the Bills are focused on that in their building. They want to get to the Super Bowl. They know that the best way to do it is to be the 1 seed and to get that bye week. And even if they can't get the number 1 seed, they still want to be playing games at home. You put yourself in the driver's seat for everything. The number 1 seed, games at home, AFC Championship, it's all right there in front of you. If you win this game, it kind of puts you in a situation where I don't know if you can tell me anything. Like if we win this game, you're not going to be able to talk shit to me, DT, about my team. Like this is the game I've been waiting for. I've been nervous about it coming into it. We get this W, you're not going to be able to tell me nothing about my Buffalo Bills. I promise you, I'm going to be unbearable.
Lights, camera, action. Roll it out there. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with in every aspect. This 17's ready. This defense is ready. They're 3-point favorites on the road, Rob.
I know that's ridiculous.
I mean,
that's ridiculous.
That's for. I'm not saying Vegas is always right, but this is a reason. People are awake. People know what the Mafia is. People know what 17 is, and this is the battle. This is the battle. The 18-week premiere. The 2 top dogs at it, and we get to watch it with. I think with the dub coming. I really do.
I can't wait.
I'm confident in every aspect. Huge Huge. Get it
So
done.
you're
Feel
already
that.
calling. You're
Ride
already
that wave.
calling win. You're already calling W. It's
I'm
going
going.
down.
I'm going. I'm with it. I'm putting on Nickel City Crew. I'm going out here. And whatever next week, but I'm taking it and I'm loving it, and we're rocking.
I ain't mad at you, man. Listen, I'm not mad at you. I told you guys that here that Patrick Mahomes is the boogeyman to me, so I choose to be afraid of him. And I won't be able to change that opinion until we beat him when it counts. This would be a big win though, and I still would be afraid of him if we matched up with him again in the playoffs. But this would be a big win. Did you know that he's never played a road playoff game except for the Super Bowl?
Never.
Like that is
Never.
ridiculous. Like I
Insane.
want him to have to go on the road. I want him to have to wake up and get on a plane. I want him to have to be in an uncomfortable bed. I want him to have to do something different. Like he's been staying in his comfort zone in the playoffs. Like what
talk about routine.
What an advantage that is.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody at the tailgate and they were like, like that's a big deal. Like I was like, listen, y'all don't understand how big of a deal it is. It's the routine. You just took the words out of my mouth. It's the fact that everything is staying the same. You're in your own bed. You're in your own city. You're going right up to the facility. You're not having to hop on a plane or anything like that. Everything can stay a routine for you. It's a big deal, especially when there's pressure-packed situations like the playoffs. I want to get this dude uncomfortable. I don't want him to be able to be comfortable. Let's get this thing back to the world. Let's go out here, get this dub, go to 5-1, and boy, we're sitting right in the driver's seat, ready to go. And I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen. I know you're giving a prediction for a dub. I'm not gonna give a prediction for a dub. I'm just gonna say that I'll be a fan, and I cannot wait to watch. I'm gonna be on a nervous wreck about it because of the fact that I know how much this means. This is a big stepping stone. This is a big stepping stone. It kind of shows, it's the litmus test. It shows where you are. Where do you stack up? Where are you right now as a Buffalo Bills team? You think that you've been great. The Super Bowl, contenders and the favorites leading into the season, it's all been great, and everybody's been patting on you the back. And then you started out the season the way you did against the Rams. This is a big deal. The only loss that we have is because of Mother Nature. So, like, literally, this is a big deal, man.
100%, Rob. We've touched on the aspects of the gratitude of this. With Josh Allen, this is the for his story, for his vibe. Like, you're gonna have to beat the Boogeyman. You're gonna have to beat Kansas City and
eventually
the Duke, North Carolina, Yankees, yes. Red Sox. Like it's a rivalry of that nature, and they're even. You're gonna have wins and you're gonna have losses. But the window of opportunity is slim in the Super Bowl window, and this isn't just a game in the middle of the season, Rob.
It's a big deal, man. I mean, I'm trying to, people that want to try to downplay it and different things like that, you can. I'll leave that guy, for you. But like for psyche, for everything that's going on for 13 seconds, don't forget that the players have a different mentality than we do. We are fans. We can consume it. So I prep you guys here at Nickel City Crew, Bills Mafia. I prep you guys to not get your expectations out of whack. So that way you're not disappointed, or that way you're not looking at it the wrong way. Trust me, the players are pissed off about 13 seconds. They have been pissed off about 13 seconds. They know that they're not going to win the Super Bowl tomorrow on Sunday night. They know that it's not going to be able to get everything back, but they want to send a statement to the Chiefs that, listen, y'all got us. We messed up at the end of the game last year. Y'all are not better than us. We'll come into your house again, take what we want, and we'll see you in the playoffs if you make it there. If you make it and we match up again. So I know that the players are focused on making the statement. I know that they are.
And that's Josh Allen said last week that he didn't even know they were playing the Chiefs, which I think total BS.
Oh, of course.
I do believe one at a time. We talked about it last week. Don't overlook the Steelers in this game. One at a time. This is all business. Von Miller is a huge part of that. Sean McDermott's culture is a huge part of that. It's all business, it's all leadership. They're ready to roll. No magnitude of this game, but in a way, they're also looking at it as just a regular game.
Yeah, no, I mean they're saying all the right things.
That they have to dominate.
Yes,
they know they have to dominate. They see the gratitude of this game, but they also know going in and dominating. That's just the next team on the schedule. We want to dominate that one.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is such a big game that I know that they're saying all the right things, and that's kind of half the time how you know that it's a situation where it's bigger than what they want to let on, because they again, they don't want to give any bulletin board material or anything like that to the Chiefs. So I get that. And again, they can't really talk too much shit to the Chiefs because the Chiefs have taken them when it mattered the most. So I'm very interested to see the matchup. I know that the fans cannot wait and we just have to kind of just be patient. The Sunday cannot come quick enough for me. I know that I'm very excited about the game. Now, some positive news today out of One Bills Drive, DT. We are so happy, man. Tre'Davious is back on the field, man. One of my favorite Bills. I would have to say now, Stephon Diggs is my favorite Bill, but I swear, man, Tre'Davious White is right behind him. I love his energy. I love the way he dances and during the commercial breaks, before they come back from timeout. I just love everything about him. I love his energy and just how he brings it every single week. And he's an all-pro. He's a wonderful, wonderful cornerback. He's back on the field, back on practicing for the Bills. Now, he's got about 21 days, I think, before he has to be back on the active roster for Sean McDermott, and they've got some decisions to make. I'm sure they'll make a roster move down the road. He's not going to play on Sunday, but it's going to be a big deal just having him back in the building, having him back out there. You saw Poyer tweet some stuff today, and I just think everybody's so excited to have him back for sure.
I was surprised that they did bring him back this week. I know they had the 21 days to get him only, and I thought it would be in the bottom. He was ready to go. So it coming back this week and earlier than I thought shows to me that I think they're hoping to have him back for back. That's but I think that he's back for Green Bay because he's back this week. He's ready to go for the Packers.
Yeah, I think that there's a chance that he's going to be ready for that Green Bay game. Combine that with the bye after this week. Sean McDermott already said that he's not going to play on Sunday. So I think that you can kind of target it. I think you can look at and say that maybe they have to ramp him back up a little bit, but they've got extra time now with the bye week to kind of work on it. I would expect to see him out there against Green Bay after the bye. That would be really nice to see that. I saw him working on the sideline today, and listen, sometimes those knee injuries, it's about confidence just as much as it is about health. So a lot of times these guys go through these injuries and then it's just about believing in themselves, testing the knee, making those sharp cuts, different things like that. I think that it's a perfect time for him to come back after the bye week. I'm really happy for him in his recovery, his road to recovery. It looks like it's gone well. Again, we remember he was injured in the Thanksgiving game against the Saints down there in New Orleans in his hometown, and it was devastating. The Bills didn't, really miss a beat. They haven't again this year. We lost Benford and we haven't missed a beat. Elam got his first pick on Sunday. We lost Dane Jackson. Now he's back. I mean, the Bills have kind of handled adversity and they've handled injuries really about as well as you can. I mean, honestly, DT, I did not expect some of that stuff on Sunday in respects to Dotson and just like the rookies. I mean, Shakir, my guy, who I've been gloating about all off season about how I cannot wait to see him get an opportunity. He shows up and shows out. He looks like he can actually have a nice role on this team going forward, even after McKenzie comes back from concussion. So I'm excited about the team. I'm excited that Trey is really ready to go. And I mean, what else can you say, man? Just help, speedy recovery for him and nothing but health to Trey White.
Conservative when it comes to injuries, especially there's a previous stretch as they have conservative. So to see him out there, I think that they know he's ready to go. He's ready to get back in there. He looked good training, So
yeah, I mean, I'm excited for him. I'm really happy for him and his family, and he's back out in the field doing what he loves. And hopefully, again, knock on wood, that he stays healthy throughout. So listen, as we wrap up there's not much else we can say. Bills Mafia, Nickel City crew, this is the game. This is it. This is what we've been waiting on. You want to know how good your Bills are? This is a good opportunity to find out just how good they are. The Chiefs, we know who they are. We know what they've meant to our history. We know how much they've hurt us in respects to just kind of the heartbreak. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even put that loss on the Chiefs. You already know where I lay that on from last year. So listen, the Bills did it to themselves. They found a way to lose that game when they shouldn't have. Nothing will be atoned for on Sunday. So just remember that, Bills Mafia, Nickel City crew, nothing's going to be atoned for on Sunday. Now in the playoffs, that's a different story, but nothing on Sunday can be atoned for other than we just keep stacking those dubs. And I really want to stack another dub and go to 5-1, excuse me. So I'm excited about it. I can't wait. I know that you can't wait either, DT. We will be live again, YouTube live. We have to do it for the Chiefs game. So we will be YouTube live. Expect us just around, just before 8 o'clock, I would assume, when the game is over and some of the press conferences that happen, we'll be live going and just get your rapid reactions from it. I've had a lot of positive reviews about the first YouTube live. I'm going to try to find a way to get this whole chat network thing up so that way we can talk to each other throughout the show. I'm really excited about it. Nickel City Crew, again, y'all been showing love to the show. We really appreciate just the listeners and people kind of giving us feedback on different things that they want to hear from us on the show. And I'm really excited about the future here on Buffalo Fan Base. So again, this episode tonight was again presented by 26 Shirts. Hop on over to 26 Shirts, get yourself something. They've got great little concepts out right now. And like I told you guys about the Step Brothers one, and they've got another one. It's just so fun. It's just funny as hell. Our quarterback is an actual Buffalo. If that doesn't scream Josh Allen, like I don't know what else. Like, hop on over to 26 Shirts, grab you a shirt. Volume 11, shirt 23 is really, really funny. I like it a lot. Listen, DT, anything to add, man? Because I don't know what else to say. I think we touched on everything. Listen, this is it. This is the litmus test. Lights are on. Shit. I mean, time to go to work.
This the NFL. It's what you play for. You got to beat these teams. If you want to be a contender, you got to beat these teams. So let's go. 425. Get yourself happy. Yourself.
Let's go. Let's get it, man. Get yourself ready to go. You can watch some of the 1 o'clock games. You can get your tailgate set up. Make sure you get your wings and your pizza, and everybody's ready to go at the party that you're having, or wherever you're going, to the bar. Nickel City Crew, Bills Mafia. Please enjoy the game. As always, spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. Hit them with a Go Bills. I know you've been breaking up at the end of the show, but hit them with a Go Bills, DT. Hit them.
Go Bills. Go Bills, baby.
Go Bills. This is it. I can't wait.